Breaking news. Since Moscow invaded Ukraine, new data shows a high death toll among Russian men. Putin's losses have been estimated differently than in previous reports, but a new estimate has emerged from the first independent statistical analysis of the conflict. According to newly compiled statistics, since the conflict with Ukraine broke out in February 2022, Russia has lost nearly 50,000 men. Russian independent media outlets Mediazona and Meduza collaborated with a data scientist from Germany's Tübingen University to compile the new statistical analysis, which provides an educated estimate of how many of Putin's men have died on the battlefield in Ukraine. This is the first official tally of Russia's war dead after months of conflicting and unconfirmed reports in the media. Russia has strict media regulations, so taking photos of its war dead has become a form of defiance. Leaders in Moscow and Kyiv have both been slow to provide accurate information about their respective casualties in the Ukraine conflict. Since February of last year, when hostilities first broke out in earnest, 27,423 Russian servicemen have been reported missing or killed. Russia has only publicly acknowledged 6,000 deaths in its military relating to operations in Ukraine. These are only soldiers who we know by name, and their deaths in each case are verified by multiple sources, said Dmitry Treshkanin, a Mediazona editor who helped oversee the investigation. By working together with Meduza, we were able to get an estimate that sheds light on the hidden deaths, which the Russian government has been desperately, and fruitlessly, trying to cover up. The analysis relied on data obtained from Kremlin publications that were intended for a limited audience. Excess mortality, a statistical concept that gained traction during the COVID-19 pandemic, was also used by researchers. Researchers estimated the percentage increase in male mortality under the age of 50 from the start of the war by analyzing inheritance records and mortality statistics. Their data shows that in 2022, 25,000 more inheritance cases were opened for males aged 15 to 49 than usual, and that by the 27th of May 2023, this number had risen to 47,000. This comes after the UK Ministry of Defence placed the death toll on the Russian side of the conflict at between 40,000 and 60,000. A leaked document from the United States government estimated 35,000 to 43,000 Russian casualties in the first year of the conflict. Treshkanin, Mr. Their numbers could be right, but they could also be wrong. It's possible that the Russian Ministry of Defense's own data is incomplete, even if they have sources there. Counting the dead from the army, Rogvardia, Akhmet Battalion, and the many private military companies, Wagner being the largest but not the only one, is a daunting task. The number of prisoner casualties, who were originally recruited by Wagner but are now under the purview of the Ministry of Defense, is another murky number with considerable room for manipulation. Better outcomes may be obtained through statistical analysis. Both Mediazona and Meduza have been branded a foreign agent by the Kremlin for their reporting in the past. Moscow has banned Meduza, calling it a undesirable organization, and has also placed restrictions on Mediazona.